So he keeps feeding them more information and more information for about a year. But then, in 1980, he gets caught. But not by the FBI. They still have no clue he's doing any of this. Bob gets caught by someone else. Because one day, Bonnie, his wife, is at home, and she walks into the basement, and Bob is there. And he's like, "Oh, don't come in, I'm wrapping presents." But actually, he's looking over some communications with the Soviets. And she actually catches him in the act with these letters that he had written to them. Now, at this point, Bonnie could turn him into the FBI, but she's not going to do that. She loves Bob. And she's also super religious. So instead of all that, she takes him to her church, to her priest, to confess. And so Bob goes and he confesses all this espionage he's been doing to this priest. And the priest hears all this and he's like, "Holy shit." And now the priest wants to turn Bob into the FBI. But instead, he makes him a deal. He tells him that he won't turn him in if he agrees to donate all the money he made from the Soviets to charity, which at this point he's made around $30,000. Also, he has to promise to never spy again. And Bob, he doesn't want to get turned in, so he agrees to this deal, and he goes back to his normal, boring life. He quits spying for the Soviets, and he pays the money he made, little by little, to a charity. And over the next few years, within the FBI, he keeps getting transferred and he keeps getting promoted. And this ends up giving him access to even more sensitive information. And then in 1985, he gets access to info about former KGB agents who are now living in the US. And he knows how valuable this info is. And he's like, "I am selling this shit. I want to be a spy again." So he goes and he writes an anonymous letter to a senior operator in the KGB offering his services. In this letter, he basically says, "I'll give you the names of KGB agents who are secretly working for the FBI if you give me $100,000. And crazy enough, the KGB agents do. And so boom, suddenly Bob is back in the spy business. And he just made $100,000. So for the next 6 years, Bob hands these KGB agents US secrets, sensitive US information, blowing people's covers, snitching on people, and the KGB pays him tons of money in return via dead drops. But then, if you know your history, something really crazy happens. In 1991, the Soviet Union suddenly collapses. So now you've got all these former KGB agents who are approaching US intelligence agencies and feeding them information and exposing their US informants. And so Bob, he starts to get worried. What if they snitch on him? And so he's like, "All right, this is too risky. Time to quit." And he slows his spying down to a crawl for years. Then around 1999, he's like, "All right,